Hello and welcome to this Mobile World Live webinar. I am Michael Carroll, a senior editor at the publication, and I'm delighted to be your moderator for today's event. Ultra-low latency, higher levels of reliability, and the ability to deliver a far greater range of connectivity than before. The benefits of 5G are by now widely known. Over the past 18 months, operators in South Korea, Japan, the US, Europe and beyond have launched commercial 5G services with great success in terms of subscriber uptake. And in 2020, Taiwanese operators have joined the list, launching services covering the 28 GHz and 3.5 GHz bands. The launches are receiving strong government backing, as Chi Chen-yang, Deputy Director General of the Industrial Development Bureau at the Ministry of Economic Affairs, now explains.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. On behalf of IDB, I would like to welcome you all to 2020 World Telecom Conference, 5G Talk. Taiwan has completed the 5G auction earlier this year, where 5G infrastructure and the service rollout are both underway. In order to capitalize the opportunities 5G has to offer, we need to grasp the needs from the market and make sure relevant products and the solutions are ready to meet those needs. This harmony between supply and demand therefore becomes crucial to the overall development of the ICT industry. To help promote the use of 5G in various verticals, IDB also utilizes policy instruments to encourage public-private partnership. An example of this cooperation can be found in the 5G Smart Stadium, proudly brought to baseball lovers by Taiwan Mobile, along with Light Matrix, IMAS, Momo TV, and more, providing services such as 3D replay, 5G and AR virtual opening, and interactive entertainment. Another example of this public-private partnership to promote the 5G services can be found in 5G Smart Factory, such as the partnership between Inventec and Web-in Communication as the system integrator, where highly efficient production automation is enabled by 5G ORAN architecture, AI and IoT. Through these examples, we hope to enlighten our vendors and the solution providers to see the endless possibilities of 5G in different vertical markets. In this session, we are also very glad to invite KDDI Research, Taiwan Mobile, and Inventec from Taiwan to share their insights with us on both consumer and enterprise services. Through today's conversation, I'm sure we will learn from each other and gain insights into 5G applications and services. Thank you.
Coming up, CH Wu, Vice President and Chief Enterprise Business Officer at Taiwan Mobile, and Albert Chen, Senior Vice President of Inventec Corporation, will offer us more insight into moves involving smart stadia and manufacturing. But first, Yasuyuki Nakajima, Chairman of KDDI Research, is going to talk us through his company's experience of how 5G is enabling innovative services and businesses. Yasuyuki, hello.
Hi.
Now, while our experts are presenting, I'd like to encourage our audience to interact by posting comments and questions using the box underneath the slides. We will have time at the end of the presentations to address some of those questions. So to get involved, just pop your question in the box underneath the slides and we will try to answer it. With that, I will hand over to Yasuyuki.
Thank you very much for inviting me. My name is Yasuyuki Nakajima from KDDI Research. I'm a chairman of the board of directors. Today, I'm going to talk about the 5G enabling innovative services and the business. Okay, I'm going to talk about two things. One is KDDI's 5G strategies, And the next one, the second one, is activities toward 5G era. As for the KDDI's business strategies, we have these 7 aspects. Number one is creating innovation toward the 5G era. The second one is integration of telecommunications and life design. The third one is a further expansion of global business. The fourth one, utilizing the big data for every field of KDDI's business. And fifth one is expanding the finance business, because we are doing financing, banking or insurance, so that kind of things. So we'd like to expand this field as a life design service. The sixth one is growth as a group, growth as a KDDI group. And the seventh one is sustainability. So this is KDDI's 5G rollout plan. So we, in Japan, all the telco started 5G last spring. And now we are expanding constructing the base stations. And within 5 years, in the right-hand side, we would like to cover almost more than 90%. And maybe next year, we will be installing about 10,000 base stations. So in order to create the innovation by 5G, there are various kinds of fields which 5G can deploy. So these things like smart factories, autonomous driving, remote operation, these are several use cases. And in order to create innovation, the partnership is very important. So we would like to collaborate with these partner companies. And then we will provide the telecommunication infrastructure for 5G and the open innovation scheme, and also a platform for 5G and IoT platform. So these 3 things are combined to create the innovation by 5G. So another important thing is regional revitalization through 5G, because not only the metropolitan area, but also the countryside. Thinking of all over Japan, we'd like to promote the 5G. So these are several proof of concept cases. Like the first one is smart fishery. The second one is sake brewery. The third one is Mount Fuji trail visualization project. So we have established 3 billion yen fund for the regional revitalization in last April 2019. So in order to accelerate the 5G use case with startup companies. So as for the integration of telecommunications and life design, so for the individual customers in the left-hand side, the expanding the life design service through smartphones as starting point, and provide experience value with excitement to customers. So currently we provide not only the telecommunication infrastructure, network service, but also we provide e-commerce, banking, power electric, and so on. So we would like to enhance these kind of services via 5G. In the right-hand side, for the corporate customers, we would like to build new business models together with customers, supporting the driving of DX for customers. So in the second talk is activities toward 5G era. Next, please. Okay, we have done a lot of proof of concept, POCs, using the 5G. And in the future smart business side, in the upper side, we have done, these are several cases of business study for automated driving, smart constructions, smart factory, smart boarding gate for airplane. And for the future entertainment side, we have done the free viewpoint video for future video viewing style. And the next one is a virtual drone flying. And the third one is 4K based TV transmission, live transmission. And the fourth one is a tele-existence, so remote robot operation. As for the autonomous driving, so this is a case of mass mobility as a service. In order to provide a safe mass operation, we need monitoring, remote monitoring, and remote controlling for the autonomous vehicles. So using the broadband, we can transmit high-resolution video and CAN data from the automated cars. And for the emergency case, using low delay characteristics of 5G, we can, the operator side can remotely control the vehicle in case of emergency. Okay, this is a real proof of concept experiment. The car is in the right hand side. Okay, next slide, please. This one is a smart construction. In the case of very dangerous construction site, nowadays they use the remote construction machines using the Wi-Fi. But when you use the Wi-Fi, the end-to-end transmission delay is including the video is about 2 seconds or so. So it is very inefficient in controlling the machines. So by using the 5G, the end-to-end delay is can be reduced to less than 1 second, and they can improve the operation efficiency by 30%. As for the entertainment side, we have developed the free viewpoint video system, where we employed 16 cameras in the baseball game, and we synthesize the video for the arbitrary viewpoint. So users can view the baseball game from the arbitrary point, like picture in the downside. The another example is using the drone. We provide a virtual sightseeing experience. So drone has a 5G transmission and a 4K video. So the video is live streamed from the drone to the viewing site. And we provide this kind of spherical screen with sound, 3D motion, and wind. So they can experience as if they are flying over the scenery. Okay, before concluding my talk, I would like to say that our life would be changed drastically in the next 10 years because of COVID-19. So currently, we are in a state of surviving and reviving. But after that, we should be thriving. And its effect, we hope digital transformation would be accelerated by 5G much faster than expected. So we talk about the 5G strategies of KDDI. And also, I showed some activities toward 5G era. That's all for my talk. Thank you very much.
And now, C.H. Wu.
Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you for inviting me to join this event. My name is CH. I come from Taiwan Mobile in Taiwan. Let me briefly introduce Taiwan Mobile. We are one of the top 3 mobile service providers in Taiwan and representing 25% of the market share. Not only the mobile service, there are also 2 other major services that we provide. One is cable TV. We are number 1 in Taiwan, about 1/3 of the market. And the second is e-commerce, online shopping. We are also number 1 in Taiwan, so our subsidiary for this business is called Momo. Taiwan Mobile belongs to Fubon Group, which is one of the top 3 financial holding groups in Taiwan. Recent years, we have focused on sports market. We own a professional baseball team and also a professional basketball team. And that's why my topic today is 5G Smart Stadium. Our 5G strategy divides into consumer and enterprise. For consumer side, we focus on several items. For example, like cloud gaming, like 4K, 8K streaming, and also the AR, VR technology used for entertainment, sports, or media. For the enterprise side, we transform from horizontal business model to vertical, such as smart city, smart manufacturing, healthcare, retail, logistics, warehousing, connected car, etc. So today I'd like to share the project we recently done. We call it 5G Smart Stadium. This is the first 5G Smart Stadium in Taiwan. And this project is sponsored by the government, especially IDB, which is Industrial Development Bureau, give us a lot of support. So I'd like to express my appreciation here. There are several members in this project, including some from Fubon Group, like ourselves, Taiwan Mobile. We are in charge of the 5G infrastructure and platform. The second is Fubon Sports and Entertainment, who is the owner of the stadium and the baseball team. And the third is Momo TV. They are the content provider. And of course, we have also some other technology and solution partners who help us establish these solutions. The applications that we built mainly focus on the customer experience using new technologies. For example, like 3D replay for the best moments in the game, 360 degrees live broadcasting, 5G plus AR virtual opening, VR baseball games, and AR instant interaction, professional training platform, and stadium monitoring. So following, I would like to go through all these applications. Some of them will be demoed by video. I'd like to apologize that these videos were made in Mandarin. We have tried to translate into English, but the effect might not be perfect. So first, I want to demonstrate the most important application in this project, which is 3D replay. We use multiple high-quality cameras to capture the best moments of the game, and then we reconstruct the pictures into a 3D replay video clip to show to the audience.
怕一不留神就错过击球的精彩瞬间吗？想再回味球员在场上的英姿吗？刚刚是华磊得分吗？台湾5G 时代来临，为了提供更好的服务，台湾大哥大率先与 Momo TV 合作，在转播富邦悍将主场赛事时，导入独创的3D 回放系统，利用数十台高速摄影机捕捉关键画面，搭配台湾大哥大5G 高速传输至球赛转播室，3D 画面即时运算，提供球迷立体感十足的赛事回放，记录每个精彩瞬间。台湾大哥大。
So next application is a 5G plus AR virtual opening. Before the game, audience can watch the opening show on TV or their mobile phone. At the end of the show, it will pop out Taiwan Mobile new logo and new slogan.
梦想飞船带来重量级的礼物啊。那么台湾大哥大所打造的 AR 飞船呢，今天再度的来到了现场。我们可以看到，在飞船上吊着空投箱，准确的抛在球场上。空投箱装的是台湾大哥大最新的识别 logo。Planet Possible 以及品牌核心精神 Open Possible 能所不能，这也是台湾大献给主题日返校生的惊喜的礼物。
Okay, the third application we provide is a high quality live broadcasting service for sports event. People can experience through a couple different channels. The first is that TV or our OTT service. Taiwan Mobile's OTT service is called My Video. The second channel will be we will provide the VR goggle in the VIP room in the stadium, and the third is that we will also put these videos onto YouTube. You can watch from there. This is an example. You can use this QR code to experience this 300 live broadcasting example. Thanks. Next, and the next application is another AR application. Using a smartphone facing the big screen of the stadium, and all the data for the current player will show up in real time. So you can know the statistics of this player. This is a 3D interactive game for audience to experience the baseball pitching and batting. So you can have one person to play or two person to play, one for pitching and one for batting. We also create a training platform for betting and eye training. The system has used the Professional Baseball League pitch database to recreate the motion of a pitch ball, such as its pace, velocity, orientation, and spin. Through the VR headset, the player can select a real pitcher to practice. So this is another video that shows what I just mentioned about the training platform. This is actually a player can select which pitcher could be a real pitcher in other teams, and then can select what kind of speed, what kind of ball, what kind of direction to practice batting. This is what we have done for the 5G baseball stadium. There are about 7 to 8 applications we are working on. In the future, we would like to replicate this kind of service to other sports. For example, as of now, we are talking with some baseball teams for this service, even table tennis or swimming. Other than sports, this also can be used in other activities, for example, like concert, like PR events. So I think that the development of these services is quite promising. So this concludes my presentation today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, Albert.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Albert Chen. I represent Inventec. My topic will be 5G smart manufacturing. Okay, let me talk a little bit about Inventec. Inventec has been almost 45 years old, and we do founded in 1975. And currently, our revenue will go up to like a 16.2 billion. Basically, it's a OEM company. If you look at our worldwide global scale, you can see that we have a factory all over the world. Therefore, manufacturing become an important access for us. And our headquarters now is located in Taiwan, and it's ranging from Shanghai, Nanjing, Chengdu. We also have a site in Czechoslovakia and Mexico. And basically, the regional office includes Japan and also Austin. Now, our factory is getting, some of our factories are moving back to Taiwan. Therefore, manufacturing is our major efforts in our company. Talking about the devices, you can see as a manufacturing site, annually we can produce 100 million devices across all different sites. And to sum up all these devices, I can conclude we have 4 million of servers, includes network, storage, and switch. We also have 21 million of computing devices. Basically, it's all PC, AIO, and notebook and thin client. Then finally, we have 75 million of the smart devices. The smart devices all includes like a smart home devices, wearable, and smart home. With all these manufacturing sites all over the world, you can see we are facing a global challenge at this moment, especially the worldwide trade war across all over the world. And our challenge going from globalization, sustainability, demographics, urbanizations, and threat to global stability. Also, with all this in mind, then all our customers are now getting different. Then to development trends for us is we are thinking about distributed manufacturing. We'd like to have a rapid responsive for our manufacturing side. In the meantime, complex manufacturing and customized manufacturing are getting more and more, and people promote human-centered manufacturing and also sustainable manufacturing. All these are, finally, we'd like to think of some innovations on our manufacturing. So all these we are facing on our global challenge in the manufacturing. We are thinking about digital transformations. As you know, when 5G coming along, then internally we are trying to understand what digital transformation can bring to us. So we begin to think about some characters. And let's start from A, B, C, D, E, F. Therefore, we found with 5G superhighway, we can begin to entertain a lot of technology innovations in AI, blockchain, cloud computing, and data science, edge computing, fintech. Then 5G is really a leading way of all these digital transformation of newer technology. When we see the 5G connections, you can see IDC expect like the worldwide 5G connections grow from 13.6 million in 2019 to 1.8 billion to 2024. And you can see all these connections, not even talking about devices. If 5G connections in 2024, then will make up 50.3% of cellular-based mobile and IoT connections. So you can see for the years to come, you will see a lot of devices to connect to the 5G. As I said before, we are in the manufacturing side. Now, talking about global smart manufacturing, how do we do this? Or how do we think about what is really smart manufacturing? Then in our definitions, we like to perform automations in the factory, but we like to interact with our customers. Therefore, manufacturers, customers, and suppliers are all in this supply chain. So connect in two-way communication without delay and errors. this will really improve efficiency and flexibility, and definitely further reduce the costs. Then when we perform digital communication, digital transformation in our smart manufacturing, we like to think of electronic manufacturing industry is currently facing a few waves of industrial revolutions and globalizations, intellectualizations, and we are getting less and less profit to our challenges. So promote the digital transformation is a must. Then we begin to think about it. In our factory, we like to do the design cycle. We're starting from design cycle, then we perform information integration and technology to quickly shorten this R&D and manufacturing cycle. With 5G coming along, as we know, there are 3 features in 5G. It includes eMBB, URLLC, and MMTC. All these 3 features can really make a difference of other standards previously in 4G, 3G, and 2G. So we'd like to learn from all these perspectives or features so that we can really take advantage of all these and to let our factory to become more like a smarter. To add up digital transformation technologies, I believe in these days, big data automation, system integrations, IoT, and without others that I mentioned in the 5G, security is also the most important thing in our calendars day by day. Then we perform all those applications in the factories. Inventec, in early this year, we have one project from government. We really appreciate a project that we really can kick off a new starting point of 5G, our smart factory project. And the project called 5G ORAM Solutions, which is we will build up a 5G factory in our factories. And ORAM is the Open Radio Access Network. And with these architectures, we begin to do all these projects in our factories. Then you can see early this year, maybe this is one of the first in Taiwan that we really deploy our 5G ORAN private network in the factories. It includes, as you can see, 5G UE, and we will connect to the AOI and AGV. Then with 5G network, we further deploy all these network in our servers. And so currently, so far so good. And hopefully we can see the first 5G ORAN private network in Taiwan. Finally, the first deployed so-called application is AI, Enabled Aoi. With this AOI in the factories, we begin to deploy AI applications, and with 5G connection to connect all these. For example, we can do AI with a lot of training data. We're labeling all those pictures, then we send to the server side. Then after training, then we have inference back to the edge servers so that we can perform AOI to do the comparison. With this result, we are expecting that we can reduce the workers in our factory. In the meantime, definitely we can increase our successful rate of our manufacturing PCB board. Finally, I want to bring up one slide to say next step. What's the next step? Next step means that with 5G ORAN private network in our factory, you can see starting from application and also network layers. And on the left-hand side, we have MES integrations. And left-hand side, we have SCADA, we have MES. We have ERP, then finally PLM. All these later on in the future will become really embrace the 5G superhighway in our factory. Therefore, we really exciting that this project can be deployed early this year and funded by our government. And hopefully that next 2 months, we can really bring up so-called 5G O-RAN factory. Thank you very much. This is can conclude my talk today.
Well, thank you all for those great presentations. Now we'll turn things over to our audience's questions. If you haven't submitted one yet, don't worry, as there is still time. Just post your questions in the box and we will do our best to get to them. But gentlemen, we do have a good number already. So let me dive in. The first one, I think, CH Wu, you're probably best for this. With operators only receiving 5G licenses this year, are operators in Taiwan focused on consumer services, enterprise, or both? And I think you did touch on that.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. As you know that we just got our license in June timeframe. So by end of this year, we are aiming to establish the 5G infrastructure for major areas, high population areas. So the first most important task right now for us is to build the 5G infrastructure in the stations. And as for the focus areas, both consumer and enterprise, we are focusing on. For consumer, I just mentioned that we will work on the cloud gaming, the streaming, we are using 4K, 8K, and the AR, VR for entertainment, sports, and media. For enterprise, is much more complicated. We'll focus on building eco-partner system, and we provide we want to construct a true 5G plus AIoT solutions in different verticals. So now we have many projects ongoing in different areas. For example, like logistic and warehousing, where mostly the solution is AGV and AMR. And for smart manufacturing, Albert just mentioned about we are also doing some projects with our manufacturing customers. For example, like AR inspection, AR training, and AOI kind of POCs. And other than that, we also have some projects in healthcare, retail, and self-driving cars. So that's the current status of the Taiwan Mobile for 5G development. Yeah.
Thank you. Albert, I think picking up on that, and helpfully, the next question, are devices key to the success of 5G services?
Yeah. The answer is yes. It's a key to succeed. I believe, as I mentioned earlier, and they will have more devices coming up. And also in 2024, 1.8 billion the connections. That means that for each person, actually, like Michael earlier, you said we have many devices around right now. And as 5G come along and IoT predict people will have 1.3 as right now devices around, but till 2025, you have 2.65 devices. However, as 5G come along, actually, the total volume of data will come from 47 zettabyte into 163 zettabyte. This means that a lot of devices will collect more data from everywhere. And as you know, the 3GPP release 16, and they address the so-called latency, shorter latencies. And later on, for the eMBP, it's so-called like the 1 gigabits per second or 10 gigabit per second devices is coming along. Therefore, I will believe devices is a key, and all different devices will come in along with different form factor, and we will see.
Well, thank you. Yasuyuki, we have a question, which, what are the benefits of 5G, where are the benefits of 5G technology being felt the most in terms of digital transformation? Is it in the consumer, the enterprise, or the industrial sectors?
All right, thank you very much for the question. In terms of digital transformation, much higher throughput and lower latency than the 4G can create a new business fields which are not realized in 4G era. for the consumer side, in 4G era, the video is a driving force, but in the 5G, I think the additional entertainment service such as game cloud and XR, which include VR and AR, these are another driving factors for the 5G, based on the unlimited service plan. For example, in the SK Telecom in Korea, they say that monthly usage is at 5G is 25 gigabyte per user per month. But in the case of 4G, it was 10 gigabyte per month, so about 2.5 increase by introducing 5G. And they say that VR is the driving force for the usage. As for the enterprise, each aspect of 5G technologies might open the potential new business field. For example, high quality video by high throughput can be utilized for the construction sites, as I said, and also the autonomous driving. And as for the low latency, can be used for the factory automations and also the connected cars. But the important thing is that the cost performance in terms of OPEX and CAPEX, and also the area coverage of 5G, they are the key important issues to the success to the commercial deployment. That's all.
Well, sort of sticking with the digital transformation theme, Mr. Wu, we have a question. In fact, it's probably suitable for all of you. How is 5G driving digital transformation among operators themselves and the vendor community? We often look at the verticals, but this is looking at ourselves, our own industry. And what opportunities is this opening up for you?
Yep. For telecoms provider, before 5G, 2G, 3G, 4G, our job is just to build the infrastructure, to build the stations, and then the consumers can use the service. So our main role at that time is to build the infrastructure. But as 5G coming, there are a lot of different applications will build on the 5G platform. So the role of the operator is much more different. So other than the telecom services that we used to provide, we also need to build a stack of layers approach. For example, the bottom layer is the telecom service. The second layer should be the platform service for like IoT or other platforms that we are working right now. And the upper layer will be the service. You can call it SAS, a service as a software as a service, the kind of concept. But with that, we need to work with a lot of different partners to build the whole architecture. So the most important thing is that we must go upper level to the platform as a service and the software as a service. And then we need to work with partners to build an eco-partner system. So that's the most important thing. As for the home and overseas, smart home will be definitely a topic. Operators can be provide convergent services to the home in the future. For example, what we are doing right now is that we combine some different services to the home, like cable TV with the OTT service. I just mentioned about our video OTT is called My Video. Our music is called My Music, and book is my Book. So there are a lot of combination convergence services that we can bring to the home. Other than that, we can also bring the services like broadband internet, cloud gaming, and AR VR applications to the home. That's for home application. As for overseas, we see two opportunities. For vertical solution that we can team up and export to other countries or regions using the solutions that we have built up in Taiwan. And the other opportunity is IoT, because operators can build the IoT platform, for example, the eSIM platform. So we can support the product export to other regions from the Taiwan vendors. So I think there's the opportunity for home and overseas from our view.
Thank you. And Albert or Yasuyuki, do you care to weigh in on the digital transformation?
All right. Yeah, I believe CH has mentioned a lot of applications and opportunities, and I will just add up a few of them. As I mentioned earlier, digital transformation has been a big in our company, and we have been discussed how much or how many newer technology can bring in, and how many opportunities will come into reality. Therefore, we saw ABCDEFG I just mentioned, with 5G is in a super highway and also is a center of stage. Therefore, we begin to try to understand, for example, 5G in the devices will be different from 4G. And 5G devices with low EMBB and also low latencies, and also in the future, so-called massive MTC. Those areas are big opportunities for us in the not only ODM in the device side, but also in the infrastructure side. I just mentioned the newer so-called open radio access network is a newer open platform for server people to be in place. Therefore, we are very much excited because currently we have a 4 million server shipped worldwide, which is it counts for a lot of countries. Therefore, in this coming along, then we are striking to provide the solutions in the newer telecommunication area. So that make us really excited. So I believe all the operators and all the services, definitely everybody is so excited because 5G really can make a dream come true.
Thank you. And we have another question, probably time to fit one more in. It is for all of you, but I'm going to ask Yasuyuki first. But the question is, what changes must the broader mobile industry make to truly capitalize on the opportunities 5G offers?
Okay. I think business chances on 5G will be everywhere. I have a good example. As for the sake brewery, at the first stage, both KDDI and the brewery company did not have any good idea using 5G. After discussing the several times, we found that they had to check the fermentation frequently every early in the morning, for example. By introducing the high quality video transmission using 5G, they could easily check the size of bubbles and right timing to go to the next stage. So it could not be done by 4G because of the quality, video quality. And by using a 5G, they could successfully reduce the manufacturing cost. So we must look at the possibility of great improvement of any work process, which can be achieved by 5G. That's all.
Thank you. And Mr. Wu, Albert, do you concur or differ?
Albert, you want to go first?
I just add a little bit. I believe 5G, in order to capitalize the opportunities of 5G can offer, I used to work on 2G, 3G, and 4G, now coming to the 5G. And I try to understand the difference between 5G and 4G. Then if you can see, starting from 3G, people ask, what is the killer applications? For those that you can really, really make a difference from previous one. And therefore, I believe in order to provide 5G only type of features, we really need to understand what the difference between 5G and 4G, even 3G. So to begin with so-called EMBB, enhanced mobile broadband. And these, you can see currently AR, VR. Therefore, low speed bandwidth and video-related applications could be big. And also, if you look at so-called ultra-reliable low latency features, and you can see some of the self-driving car will become popular, then we need to really drive into it to take advantage of low latency or delay time. Then I'm not saying even so-called massive MTC. This will definitely be different from previous LTE. So I intended to understand the difference between 5G features and the rest. Then we can really make a big difference. And hopefully we can really, again, not like people, some of the operators in Korea, they say, okay, I can provide 5G, but end up to be only 4G speed. I'm hoping that CHE won't provide that kind of services. and so we really need to make a 5G really like a 5G, and then people can pay for it.
Okay, and CH, very, very briefly, we've got about 10, 15 seconds.
Actually, we have analyzed the future 10 years of what are the applications that can be monetized using 5G. So short-term, middle-term, and long-term. So anyway, for the enterprise solutions, it probably will start from 2-3 years later. Then we can have really to monetize the solutions. But for the first 2 years, we should focus on identifying which are the priority solutions that we need to do the POC, even to POB to the POS, so that we can monetize in about 3 years later, 2 years later. For the first 2 years, I would say it will be more on the consumer side. I just mentioned about cloud gaming, the AR, VR, or the streaming. So that's my viewpoint.
Marvelous, and thank you for fitting that in. Well, and thank you all for answering those questions, and also to our audience for posing them. If we didn't get around to your question, we will try and do, or the panel will try and do their best to answer after the event. And you can always contact them directly through their company websites. A replay of the webinar will be available shortly, so you can catch up on any of the great content if you happen to miss it. Thank you once again to all of our audience and to our great panel of speakers. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, and goodbye.